these big companies, when you start saying, well, if we change our pricing model, we can increase our revenue by 5%, and that 5% represents tens of millions of dollars, it's worth them going through that process and going, well, we're going to have a few people angry or even cancel, but we don't care because that 5% growth, is worth it. Like, I'm okay with the churn. When we're in our industry, we look at this and go, we really have to tailor everything from product, commercialization to service. Think about what we've done from a customer success standpoint, where we go, oh, we understand what's happening. You're turning over the people that use our software potentially 3 times a year. Guess what? We're going to take over all of the document building, all of the training. Like, all you have to do is just submit a ticket. You need this document changed. It's done. You don't have to worry about it. I think those are the kind of things that, like, in this industry or any industry that's a bit more of a niche, like, that's how you compete.
Yeah, 100%. So to take like a director of sales and marketing who's using our tool in the community, to not have a / at the end of their title, / document builder / template maker / whatever it is, to not have to be an expert in our system.
Yeah.
That's definitely an approach we take from the product side. Let's say you're a 10 to 20 community operator. Why is that a big deal for us? And maybe that's an advantage over maybe one of these big global providers where it's like, you don't really have much of a say.
For us, 20 buildings, you're a big deal to us. DocuSign or any of these big players, you're such a small portion of that business. And frankly, the industry that you're operating in is such a small portion. So when they're talking about millions of users and millions of contracts, your 20 buildings are not going to mean much. Right. They're not going to cater anything to you. Whereas us and, you take the other CRMs, Salesforce is not going to do what WelcomeHome is going to do,
right,
or what Sherpa is going to do for you.
Right.
It's just the basic business fundamentals are not going to allow it.
Are there instances in which a more generalized software should be used in senior living? I'm sure there's cases. Not being an operator, I don't know that I can name them off the top of my head. I mean, obviously we've talked about us and DocuSign, so it's very selfish on our part in terms of the content we're putting out. What's funny is I think the best answer to that question is, if there are instances, I don't hear about them. I don't see people coming and saying, do you have a Salesforce integration? Right. Do you have a HubSpot integration? CRMs are a dime a dozen kind of globally. But when you talk about senior living specific, we just saw Enquire and Sherpa merge under a line. You still have the WelcomeHome of the world. I see those are specific. And what's funny is those CRMs sometimes have integrations over to the Salesforces and the HubSpots. But really, I don't see that. I don't see a broad health record implemented. I see a very specific to senior living, very specific to skilled nursing implemented more than I hear about the big players that are in the hospital space or they're in other areas.
Senior living is a people business.
Yeah,
I could see that some of these big players, these big software solutions could work. The further you get away from the interaction with employees that care about the residents and the residents themselves, that's what makes it hard. Is you go, oh, I'm going to use some big global software solution, but it's not going to work because this is a people business. And so the solutions that are specific to senior living, they're tailored to the people that work in or who use the services of senior living.
On the operations or more the resident facing tools, you're seeing senior living specific. So CRM, health record, move-in tools, chat, you got further in the mix. Video softwares, you got One Day, you've got some different things where you can interact with families. That's very catered. But as soon as you get to the corporate office, you're seeing Paychecks, you're seeing some of these bigger providers. You've got a lot of different corporate enterprise level softwares that are being implemented, but not as much on the community basis. It's more, how do I manage my portfolio?